When you become a parent, you brace yourself for scraped knees, late-night fevers, and maybe a broken heart or two. You don't ever prepare for this. My daughter Lily was 6 when she first told me about Miss Lucy. It started like any innocent childhood phase. A pretend tea party set up in her room, an extra chair pulled out for someone invisible. I smiled at first, even played along. After everything Lily had been through, the move, my messy separation from her mom, an imaginary friend seemed harmless, maybe even healthy, or so I thought. The first thing that unsettled me was how specific Lily was about Miss Lucy. She wasn't just a figment of her imagination. She had rules. Miss Lucy doesn't like the curtains open, Lily told me one morning, tugging them shut. She says the sun hurts her eyes. I laughed it off, ruffling her hair. Kids pick up weird ideas from cartoons or books, right? But that night, after I tucked Lily in and kissed her forehead, I noticed it. Every window in the house was closed, tightly. Even the ones I knew I'd left cracked open. It was winter, sure, but the house felt stifling, like something was trying to smother us. Things escalated slowly, just small oddities, easy to dismiss if you weren't paying close attention. The TV would flicker to static when we passed certain channels. My phone alarms would go off at random times in the night, always 3:33 a.m. I started waking up feeling watched. It wasn't just paranoia. Once, I caught Lily talking softly in her room long after bedtime. "No, Miss Lucy, I can't. Daddy said that's not nice." When I pressed my ear to the door, I heard a second voice. Breathy, croaky, almost pleading. I flung the door open. Nothing. Lily blinked at me sleepily like I'd interrupted something. About a month after Miss Lucy moved in, Lily started to change. She grew quieter, paler. She stopped drawing colorful rainbows and puppies and instead filled page after page with messy black scribbles. I found one drawing that made my stomach drop. It was our house, and in every window a dark shape loomed, tall, thin, with long arms that touched the floor. When I asked Lily who it was, she just shrugged. "Miss Lucy's real mommy," she said casually. "She's looking for her." That night, for the first time, I locked Lily's bedroom window, from the inside and out. I didn't sleep at all. The major shift came a few weeks later, on Lily's 7th birthday. She was supposed to have a small party, cake, a few friends, balloons. But when I went to wake her that morning, I found her bed empty. Panic isn't even the word for it. I tore through the house, screaming her name. Finally, I found her, in the backyard, standing perfectly still in the freezing dawn, barefoot on the frosted grass, facing the woods. When I reached her, she was murmuring something under her breath, a low chant I couldn't make out. Her hands were ice cold, her eyes completely blank. It took everything in me to pull her back inside. She screamed like I was hurting her, not in pain, but in betrayal, like I was tearing her away from something she loved, or something that loved her. I brought Lily to a therapist that same day. The woman was kind but cautious. She listened carefully to Lily's description of Miss Lucy, how she came through the window one night when Lily was lonely, how she lived between the ticks of the clock, how she promised to take Lily somewhere where daddies couldn't get sad anymore. The therapist's face paled. Later, she pulled me aside. "Your daughter isn't making this up," she said quietly. "This isn't just imagination. It sounds like attachment, or worse, grooming, something trying to isolate her. Something, not someone." After that, I didn't wait. I called a priest, not because I'm overly religious, but because instinct told me that whatever was happening wasn't going to be fixed by bedtime stories and nightlights. The blessing was short, but brutal. Windows slammed shut, light bulbs shattered. The priest stumbled out of the house, pale and sweating. "Whatever's here," he said, "isn't gone. It's only angry now." He handed me a small cross and told me to keep it near Lily at all times. That night, Lily woke up screaming. I ran to her room and froze at the door. There, standing beside her bed, was a shadow, thin, hunched, trembling with rage. I lunged forward, grabbing Lily and pulling her close. The shadow recoiled and dissolved into the wall like smoke sucked into a vent. Lily sobbed into my chest. "She's mad because I chose you," she whispered. "Miss Lucy said you'd leave me, but I didn't believe her anymore." I held her tighter than I ever had before. We moved out the next morning, left everything behind. Clothes, toys, furniture, even my childhood photos. I never wanted a single piece of that house to follow us. For a while, things were good. Lily smiled again. She started drawing rainbows and dogs. But sometimes, when the wind is just right and the nights are too quiet, I'll find her standing at her bedroom window, listening, waiting. Because Miss Lucy, she never really left. And some promises, even the broken ones, don't stay buried for long. It's been 4 years since we left that house. 4 years since Lily last spoke the name Miss Lucy. I thought we'd left the nightmare behind. I wanted to believe that changing schools, moving across the country, starting over, would be enough. But the thing about roots is you can cut them, burn them, rip them from the ground, and still, somehow, they find a way to grow back. It started again last month. Little things, easy to brush off if you wanted to. The TV flickering to static when Lily entered the room. My alarms going off at 3:33 a.m. just like before. At first, I chalked it up to coincidence, but deep down, I recognized the pattern. I just didn't want to see it. Lily's 13 now. She's smart, independent, almost too independent sometimes. She spends a lot of time in her room, sketching in those battered notebooks she never lets me see. One night, while she was asleep, I peeked. I wish I hadn't. The drawings were sharper, darker, not childish scribbles anymore, but detailed scenes. A figure, all in black, long arms drooping to the floor. Standing behind her, standing behind me, watching. In every drawing, the thing came a little closer. I sat Lily down the next morning, heart pounding. "Lily, have you been seeing anyone? Hearing anyone?" For a long time, she just stared at me. Then she said something that chilled me to the bone. "You mean Miss Lucy's mom?" She said it so casually, like asking about the weather. "She's not mad anymore," Lily added. "She says she forgives you. She just wants to meet me. Properly this time." That day, I took no chances. I called the old priest who helped us before. Turns out he retired, but he gave me a number, a woman named Sister Agnes. She wasn't what I expected, young, sharp-eyed, and blunt. After hearing my story, she didn't even blink. "You think you escaped," she said. "But you didn't. You only delayed it. These things don't just haunt homes, they haunt bloodlines." She told me Lily had been marked, not possessed, not cursed, chosen. Sister Agnes agreed to help, but she warned me. "The bond was formed years ago. Breaking it now will hurt you both." We set a date for a cleansing, something stronger than a simple blessing. Until then, she told me to protect Lily at all costs. Keep her away from mirrors. Keep her grounded in the real world. Most important, don't let her answer when it calls her name. Simple enough. Or so I thought. 2 nights before the cleansing, it happened. I woke to a faint tapping. Tap, tap, tap. At first, I thought it was the wind. Then I realized it was coming from inside the house, from Lily's room. When I opened her door, my stomach turned. The window was wide open, and Lily was gone. I ran outside barefoot, heart hammering so loud I thought it would burst. There, by the tree line at the edge of our property, I saw her, standing still, facing the woods, just like before. But this time, she wasn't alone. A figure stood next to her, thin, long-limbed, draped in black. It was whispering in her ear. I could almost hear it. Soft, sickly sweet words like promises wrapped in poison. I shouted her name, screamed it, but she didn't turn. I ran, faster than I ever thought I could, and as I got closer, I saw her mouth move. She was whispering back. When I finally reached her, I grabbed her hand, but it felt wrong. Her skin was ice cold, and for a second, she looked right through me, like I wasn't even there. I yanked her away with everything I had. The figure shrieked, a high, crackling sound that split the air like a thunderclap, and just like that, it was gone. Lily collapsed into my arms, sobbing uncontrollably. Over and over, she kept whispering, "I'm sorry, Daddy. I almost said yes. I almost said yes." Back inside, I wrapped her in blankets, turned every light on, and sat up with her until morning. Neither of us slept. Tomorrow is the cleansing. Sister Agnes says we only get one shot at this. If we fail, if Lily says yes even once, we lose her forever. But just now, as I was writing this, I heard it. A soft knock at the door. 3 knocks, precise, slow. I peeked through the peephole. No one was there, but taped to the door, fluttering in the night breeze, was a piece of paper. One line written in messy black scrawl. She already said yes once before. Do you believe Lily ever truly left Miss Lucy behind? Or did something much darker choose her a long time ago? Comment below. Follow for part 2, because the final decision that will decide both their fates will be revealed